Page 17, the sound of silence. Cut time, or 2/2 time, 2 beats in a measure, we're counting half notes, and 1 flat. So we're either in F major or D minor. Well, if you look at the beginning, that's a D minor chord. And if you look at the end, you're here, they're ending on a really fun chord there. It just take my word for it, it's in D minor. Okay, let's just keep it that way. Now, when I start learning a piece of music that's in cut time, I'll put it in 4/4 time, pretend it's in 4/4 time, until I get it learned, and then I put it back in cut time. So I'm going to talk about this as though it's in 4/4 time with a quarter note getting a count, and there's 4 beats in a measure. It makes counting and figuring out the rhythm so much easier. So at the beginning, in 4/4 time, we need 4 beats in every measure. But if you look at the first measure, there's only 3 counts in it. So it's a pickup measure. There should be another measure somewhere else with 1 count in it. And if you look at the bottom on that weird looking chord, that's 1 count. That works. So we're coming in on beat 2, assuming it's in 4/4 time. Now if it's in cut time, we're coming in on the and of 1. So let's come in on beat 2, it's easier. Let's get the hands and the fingering and all that worked out. I mean, working out the hands, whatever. Okay, you're starting here. Look at these notes, you're in this position. And 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1. And hold that down forever and then go on. 1 and 2 and. See, there's an 8th rest there. 1 and 2 and. And actually, I've come down here. I'm here, so I'm going to use 3rd finger on the E. And the second line, second measure. During the rest, you come up. 1 and 2, and this time we're in this position. Don't forget the B flat. So it's 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. See there, a 3rd line first measure, it's a quarter rest, not an 8th rest, so it's different. So again, 3rd line, 1 and 2 and 2, and that's tied. Going on, 4 and now come up again and it's 2, 4, because we're going to go up higher still. Well, that'll be fun. So it's 4 and 1 and 2, and now it's 3rd finger here. That's standard piano fingering. It's good fingering. Hang in there. That's right. 1, and then 4th line down, 2nd measure, lift up here. Going on, last measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2nd finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 3. 2nd finger, like so. And then you get that the very last measure, that is an A major chord in the right hand. It's an A, a C sharp. I mean, they define the D minor with a major 9th on it, but I don't really get into that kind of stuff. There's lots of videos and places on the internet where you can study music theory. So you can look into that. The left hand gets the chords, really. You're starting out with a C chord. Half notes. In the 2nd line, you come up, just lift up and move. There's no rest, just lift up and move. Try and get the notes down at the same time. I don't do a good job of that here. And then 2nd line, last measure, you just lift up and move. Here, B flat, 2, 4, and then you're doing that some more, the 18, and then the 4th line down, last couple measures back down here, and then the last line you're down here. Oh, I put the hands together, fine, we'll do that. 2 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I had to move the left hand. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 2. You get the idea? Just make sure you tie, and this is the 3rd line down, the 2nd and 3rd measure. Here, the right hand is tied. You just play the left hand again to hold the right hand down. And then when you play the other half note, you have a rest in the right hand there, so you got to come up. You get the idea, I hope. Hopefully, if you count it in 4/4 time, the rhythm's not really much of a problem for you. If you are struggling with the rhythms, then I encourage you to go back to book 1 and go through them again and make sure you understand all the rhythms that are going on in these pieces. Then, as far as the articulation goes, all they got is the slurs for the right hand, and you can't really connect repeated notes. So other than that, try and connect them. And as far as between the slurs, you got rests in the right hand. So you're just going to lift up. That's fine. In other words, play it all connected and lift up for the rests. And the left hand, same thing. Play them as connected as you can. But just make sure you lift up for any rests you may have. Now, when you get down to the bottom line, the last line, and the first ending, the first note in the left hand is staccato. Don't accent it. It's just staccato. So that last line is here going to the... See, it's just a light staccato. We don't want to... No, just a light staccato and then so forth. As far as the dynamics go, you got to get to know the piece really, but they apply to the melody, of course. These chords need to be kept really soft. The left hand has to be really soft. Then second line, you're going to crescendo up. They don't say how loud. Just go up to maybe about a moderately soft or moderately loud, somewhere in there. Keep the left hand very soft. So the second line, second measure. Right there. Then come back down to soft for the third line. Go back up. Now you're staying moderately loud. The left hand can come up to about soft, but keep it way in the background. Then in the fourth line down, last measure, you're back down to soft here. So, but the left hand should be very soft by now anyway. It's a very gentle piece. At the end, the second ending there is very soft. That's both hands. Now for fermata, you just hang on to that. If you play it really super soft, then you just let the sound die away. Otherwise, you hold it out for a little while until you're tired of hearing this noise, and then you let up. Then the pedal. Oh, let's talk about the pedal. Again, they're keeping the pedal simple for you, and it looks like for the most part they're changing the pedal with the harmony. But there is a note at the bottom of the page where sometimes you change pedal for other reasons, and this is it. They're showing an asterisk, so you got to find the asterisk, wherever that is, and you'll see at the fourth line down in the first measure, underneath the staff, you see the little asterisk. They're changing the pedal, even though the harmony isn't changing, they're changing the pedal anyway, and they're saying it's because of the melody. They don't want to blur this. They don't want all that. Good for them, I don't either. And that's why they're changing it for that. And a lot of times we have to do that. But we still want to connect these chords. And the only way we can connect chords like this is with the pedal. So we're pedaling it for that, but we have to change it because of the harmony. Now, if I pedal it like it's shown, this is what we get. It's overlapping pedal, or lag pedal, whatever. And I'm push the notes down first and then the pedal. And they're keeping. And when I change the pedal, it's after I play the notes. So it overlaps. The idea, the pedal is overlapping, and it just ensures there's sound all the time, and that's fine. If this piece you can pretty much get away with that. I want to point out a couple of things, and this is one of the reasons we have to listen very carefully to what the pedal is, the effect it's having on the sound. You see the first measure, there's no pedal there. It comes in when the left hand comes in. And then it stays in. Even though you still have the same kind of passage with the eighth notes, the pedal stays in because of the left hand. Just know what the difference in that sound is and why it's there, because otherwise we could pedal that pickup measure and make it sound like all the other stuff, and you can experiment that, see what you think. Same thing with the first ending at the bottom, because there's no left hand, we don't pedal that. You could if you wanted to, but it's what I'm after here is, can you tell the difference in the sound when you don't pedal it and when you do pedal it? So you got to listen to that difference and say, which do you like? Because ultimately the judge is you and what you like to hear, and that's really what they're giving you a guideline. These pedal indications are suggestions. Anything I say about pedaling is a suggestion. It is ultimately up to you and what you like to hear. Just don't be lazy with it and just pedal everything all the time. Listen very critically, very carefully to the sound and what the pedal is doing to it. For this piece, we can go ahead pretty much and pedal it like it's shown. Now the one thing I want to caution you on is at the bottom on the first ending. On the staccato note, you got to lift the pedal up with that hand to get a staccato, otherwise it won't be staccato. So the last line, you're down here. Right there, lift it up. As I play it, I lift it up. And then I leave it down. And at the end, the second ending here, the pedal and the hands come up together. Speed-wise, we need to put this back into cut time. I don't know that I need it in cut time, but I guess they want to feel it in two. They want these half notes to feel like two. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, somewhere in there. Something like that. I find that rather repetitious and boring after a while. So maybe you want to slow it down a little bit. But don't slow it down too much, because then it drags, and these notes that are held out last forever. Ugh. I think that speed is... I think that speed is about right. That's slower than what they're suggesting. That's more like about 80 or somewhere in there, but it's up to you on how fast. And with me, it's how much coffee I've had to drink, or how much wine I've had to drink, or any of that kind of stuff. But you get to know it and get into it, and sing it if you want to. I ain't singing it, but you can sing it if you want to. Yeah.